guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 10, called Love is Up in the Air. In this case, ain't no love in the air for nobody. So we go from, this episode is the course of day 19 of marriage to day 27 of marriage. You see how there's nothing to take from this season, that we pretty much go through a course of almost 2 weeks and still we get nothing from it. So we start off with day 19 of marriage. Aries lets us know from the jump he got March 2020, so he gonna be out of commission for a couple of days. And since Jasmine gotta work, he's fending for himself. Listen, Aries, if you was single, what would you be doing? Okay, you would have to fend for yourself anyway. So let's not try to act like, oh, you can't do nothing. Because I understand when you sick, you may not feel like not doing anything, but at the same time, you'll be okay. Okay, you still got a mom, you still got a hating ass cousin that could probably take care of you while Jasmine's at work, so you will be okay. We then move on to Clint. He zooms with his mother Susan, asking her advice about, since his mom is a businesswoman, how is it, dealing with personal life versus work life. So the mom does admit that, in the beginning, when you're trying to get your business up off the ground, you have to spend a lot of time dedicated to that business. But at the same time, as, years go by, as you get older, then you start to realize and, make more time for your personal life. So Clint does appreciate her giving him a different perspective in the aspect of him and Gina, because, Gina's all about her business. But at the same time, I'm just questioning, Gina, if we're going based off what the mom said, if you're supposed to, well, not technically supposed to, but if you're going to be, dive into your business and focusing on your business, why are you on the show when getting married, especially to someone you don't even know, you're going to have to spend that time to get to know the person. So like everybody else is saying, all the other reviewers are saying maybe she came on the show to promote her business, to promote her new brick and mortar. Okay, maybe so, but at the same time, that's not what we're here for. We're here to see true, genuine connections. And this is where, once again, like we always say every week, this is where Lifetime producers, they slack because they're so focused on trying to get ratings by showing drama and couples we know is not going to work from jump, that they missed the whole point of the show. They missed the whole point of why people liked it to begin with in the beginning of the seasons, or the beginning seasons of this show. So it's just, if that's the case, Mama Susan, then Gina don't need to be on the show because she need to be focused on her brick or mortar. So we already know this ain't going to work because from the previews for next or upcoming episodes, we're really going to see what happened with Dominique and Clint. Speaking of Dominique, throughout this whole episode, I was saying to myself, why does it feel like something's missing? I'm like, we went through where's the fifth couple? And that's when I realized, McKinley and Dominique, like, they got divorced, so they're not going to, I completely forgot about them, but at the same time knew that something was missing on the show. They wasn't needed. No, actually, none of these couples are needed. But since we're here, we're going to, move on. We get to Nicole and Chris. They do couples massage, and Chris lets us know in the confessional that the last time he did a couples massage with a girl, with his ex-girlfriend or whatever, was about 8 to 10 years ago. And that was that toxic ex-girlfriend. Yes, Chris, we get it. All your exes are toxic. You are the perfect one in all your relationships. You did nothing wrong in all your relationships. All your exes are toxic. It's all their fault. You had no wrongdoing in anything. You're the victim. We get it. But at the same time, we don't care. Okay? I'm pretty sure the producers asked you to answer that question, but they could have kept it. They could, like I said, they could make this season 1-hour episodes because there's nothing to take. So they do the couples massage, they talk and whatnot. Of course, they talk about their physical, their love language is physical touch. Then Nicole expresses how in the beginning she don't really like people touching her, but now that she's been with Chris and this whole process thus far, physical touch is becoming her number one love language. Okay, maybe she's saying that to make Chris feel, I feel like Nicole really has other things, behind her buen to say stuff I feel like she wants to say a lot of things, but she doesn't for the sake of the camera and the sake of not running Chris away. But at the same time, you got to be true to yourself, Nicole. You be saying you know, people be afraid of seeing your true self, but sometimes it's good to be your true self, so that way you both know what y'all both gonna be dealing with. Because we seeing Chris kind of showing low key, high key his true self. So there and such, Nicole, you should do the same. But okay, Nicole, I get it. You know, I've had that same kind of issue. I had friends with the same thing. Like, you know, in the beginning, we didn't really like being touched, but that's because at the time, years ago, I wasn't used to physical touch like that. You know, coming from religious parents, I wasn't really, you know, dating guys like that, all that stuff. So for me, it was like physical touch. That was something new. So it was, to me, it was like kind of awkward, you know, touching my shoulder and stuff. Even at work, you know, bosses be weird sometimes. Okay, they be rubbing on your back and stuff like. So for me, I'm just kind of like, what you doing touching me? But as time progressed, as I started dating and stuff, and now being with my husband, it's like now it ain't nothing. Even if the boss wants to, you know, put their hand on my shoulder, you know, I might, in my head I might be going a little stiff, but so I think in due time, maybe having the experience, it gets better. But then I'm also thinking about Nicole dealing with homeboy who freaking put a cigarette on her arm. So I'm pretty sure that has something to do with it, you know, trauma. So it's two different things compared to my situation. But okay, I'll give you that. Okay, but at the same time, I'm just like, let's not try to make it seem like, you know, since Chris, everything is just the best, like rainbows and unicorns. Okay, Nicole, please. Jasmine too. We're gonna get to her later on, but please, because we're not supposed to just put everything out on the table when the guy's not putting everything out on the table, and especially you, Nicole, since he's not giving you the love word that you want. We then move on to Kirsten. So she's talking with her friend Elise, and I guess the issue she's having with her marriage is she can't get the emotional connection from Shaquille because he be at work and school so much that sometimes he comes home late at night to the point that she be falling asleep. So the friend suggests that they make that time so to get that emotional connection. You know, I feel like Kirsten, you're just lying to your friends at this point to make it seem like you're really trying, but I think you know, well, obviously you know. Shaquille knows, your friends knows, his friends knows, the producers know, I know. All of America knows, all of the world who watches this show know. You just saying that to make it seem like you're trying, but in actuality, you ain't. Okay? We know you just saying this to make it seem like it's all like, Kristen, please, you could save the crap. Please save the crap. Please be a Dominique. This will probably be the only time I say be a Dominique. But please be a Dominique and just say, this ain't working out for me. I don't like him. I don't want to make this work. I want a divorce. Okay? Please do not drag us down the next freaking 10, 15 episodes with you trying to make it seem like you're trying, but we know you just waiting for decision day so you could gently let him down. We then move on to day 21 of marriage. Okay, we already skipped 2 days. There was nothing else to take from those 2 days. We get to day 21 of marriage. Aries still got March 2020, but, you know, Jasmine been around the house, helping him, taking care of him. I'm just looking at them, and I'm just like, so ain't no mask? I mean, we see the producers ain't there. We see it's Aries, you know, video recording himself, and we see the camera in the corner of the room taking a video of you guys in the house. And I'm just like, you know, producers said, we're not going to be part of this. You know, let us know when you free and rid of March 2020 and we'll come back around. But until then, we out. And Jasmine's just in there feeding him soup or whatnot with no mask. I know that's her husband, but I mean, is it really though? Because the way he be acting, like, you couldn't tell. You would just think they roommates for school, like, you know, in a dorm that they just got assigned to be roommates, you know, co-ed. But, you know, I don't know if I would be, you know, without no mask. But, you know, she's brave. She's a brave woman. She's brave. We then move on to Clint and Gina. He visits Gina at her hair salon, talks with her staff. And I guess one of the staff was like, oh, I could have sworn, you know, in my head, I don't know why, but I figured you would be dirty and a messy person. Did you even see him at the time before, friend to or staff member, to be making that assumption? I don't know, maybe Gina be talking crap, so that's why she made that assumption, but I'm just like, okay. Why are you having this notion and assumption? You must be the messy one, because if you even making that assumption about someone, then let's make the assumption that you're messy as well. Anyway, so they're talking. He makes a joke about the sink for the hair being a bidet, and then puts the nozzle thing at his, aims at his butt, whatever. Okay, whatever. That's, I guess some people might find it funny. For me, it was just like, I see what you're trying to do, but it's just not working for me. Okay, it's not, the joke what didn't land. Okay, it was just kind of like, all right. So other than that, Clint is impressed with Gina's job, her business, but thinks she needs to make more time for her personal life, which is true. But as the mom says, when you're in the beginning stages, you got to focus on the work. Therein lies the question once again, was she on the show for? I don't know. We then move on to Nicole and Chris. They go out to drink, and Nicole wants to talk about love. So she lets us know that she's ready to say it pretty much. She don't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. But she ready to say love because, she said on wedding day she already in love with homeboy because he got her the gift. She got him. So she rather him say it first, though, because she don't want to seem like a crazy person. She don't say this. But this is just what I'm gathering from her talking to us in the confessional, with the camera behind the scenes without Chris there. You want him to say it first so you don't seem like the crazy one, even though you already let it be known on day one that you're already in love with homeboy. So she talks to him about love, and Chris said he doesn't want to feel pressure to say it, but wants to say it when it feels right, when the time is right. Understandably so. Chris, I completely understand. I completely agree. But Nicole looks disappointed. Nicole, oh well. Okay, you're just gonna have to wait. I don't understand why we're trying to force the issue. I understand we're getting married at first sight. I understand decision day is in 2 months from the day you get married. But at the same time, love doesn't come, well, sometimes for some it does come early, and for others it doesn't. Listen, homeboy already said he wanna renew the lease for 9 months. So you think he gonna be talking about saying, "Oh, I love you" within 2 weeks? No. Give it some time and stop asking every day. I understand she said she's going to do it anyway, regardless of what Pastor Cal suggests. But at the same time, Nicole, we're going to have to pump the brakes a little bit, okay? Let the guy fall in love with you, okay? Maybe if he wasn't pressuring him so much, maybe he would have said it already. But because you're pressuring him, he's probably like, nah, I'm just going to wait a little bit. I'm going to take my time. Because if I was him, I wouldn't want, like, I would be more further from saying it because of the fact that you're asking me every day. Because then it's going to seem inauthentic. Anyway, it's just another one of those, we get one of these every season where one female wants the guy to say, I love you within like 2 seconds of the meeting. And because of that, now she's feeling in her feelings and she's going to pressure him. And it's the same thing every season. There's always one couple. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, there was nothing to take from those 2 days. So now, from going from day 21 of marriage, we're at day 23 of marriage, guys. You see how quick this is going? Okay, the experts give the couples topics to discuss because they understand that in the beginning, it may be hard to get to those questions, to the nitty gritty. So they're going to help the couples out by giving them some questions to ask each other, to, learn about each other and learn about love and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Whatever excuse these experts do more talking to us than talking to the couples, and that needs to change. Okay, let's get back to the original formula for this damn show, because at this point, y'all just saying anything to try to speak sweet nothings into our ears, but it's not working, and it's not working with the couples either. Anyway, we get to Gina and Clint. They go over the questions the experts gave to get to know each other. And the only thing I'm going to say about this was, I do apologize to Clint for the passing of his unborn child, because he did get his ex-girlfriend pregnant. And unfortunately, she had a miscarriage, and he was so disappointed and had so much of reaction to being emotional reaction that he got a physical reaction and got rashes all over himself. So, or hives, I believe he said. So, that's unfortunate. I do apologize for that, Clint. Gina said something, I didn't write it down, but that shows that wasn't important enough for me to write down. But I'm pretty sure, for her it was important. But for me, I'm like, for the purpose of this review, it wasn't anything interesting enough for me to write down. We then move on to Shaquille and Kirsten, and they go over the questions. Kirsten keeps talking about it's hard for her to open up, and hopefully quality time will help them to grow emotionally, get that chemistry, and for the love to grow. Shaquille wants, he doesn't let her know this, but he lets us know this in the confessional, that he wants to make himself happy. Like, go to the gym, go out with friends, hang out with family, so he can make himself happy. And once he makes himself happy, that's when he can make Kirsten happy. I'm a little confused because why? To me, it's just like you want to be able to live your single life. And once you're happy with yourself, of still being able to live your single life, then you can come back and make your wife happy too. Why can't she be mingled in with that? Do you want to do it separately, or I'm not. I wish he would have elaborated more, because I'm just like, where are we going with this? Because she could be incorporated into that, like going to the gym with you, hanging out with your family and friends with you, unless you want to do that by yourself. But why would you want to be separated? And if that's the case, that you feel like you have to do that separately to make yourself happy before you can make her happy, then why are you in the marriage to begin with? I don't understand where you was going with that statement. I don't know. I didn't get it. Maybe if I'm ignorant about that, but to me, it just seems like you still want to be living single Shaquille, but still be married at the same time. Like, after you spend the whole day doing single Shaquille, then you're going to come home to Kirsten. Not saying she even giving you much to go with either, because, she's not letting you know about herself and stuff. So maybe that's why you feeling the way you feel, like that you said that statement. But I just, to me, it didn't click yet. So maybe if you elaborated more, maybe I would have gotten it. But whatever, that's all you gave us, so that's all the producers gave us from this show. So okay, we move on then. Like I said, ain't nothing to take, because after day 23, we already had day 25, guys. Day 25 of marriage. Aries has finally beat March 2020. He is free from all that. And because he's feeling a little bit more like himself, he says, you know what, Jasmine, we're going to take your dog to get washed. So they bring her to the pet spa at their apartment to give her a bath. This is Aries' first time giving a dog a bath. Jasmine said he did like a 6.5. She's still going to take the dog to the groomers, all that stuff. But she appreciated and loved the gesture that he made, since he doesn't like dogs. You can appreciate it, Jasmine, but I just hope this doesn't get your panties wet, because this is not something that's going to get, this shouldn't be something to get your panties in a bunch for, get your panties wet for. Okay, this should be just like, okay, thank you, I appreciate that. But we still got a lot to work on before we get into, where she want to get, which is him ripping her clothes off. So I just hope, for the sake of your, I don't know what to say, the word to say, but just for the sake of you, Jasmine, that this ain't making him want you, this is not making you want to take your panties off of homeboy, because at this point, especially at what happened at the end of the episode, it's just not gonna work. Okay, it's just not gonna work. We then move on to Chris. So he cuts his hair. Nicole likes it. I think she just be saying stuff just to be saying stuff. I think she just be trying to build him up, so she's not going to be true. Because I was looking at this haircut, and I'm just like, it didn't seem like much happened. It didn't seem like much changed. And if it did, I just see a little bit, where he cut a little bit too much on the sides. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. But, Nicole's his wife, so if she likes it, I guess we like it. But technically, I don't. I mean, I really don't see a difference to begin with, but okay. And they sit down to talk, and Chris lets her know about his physical insecurities. Nicole tries to reassure him that he looks great, and everybody has insecurities, which is true. Then, I guess this is the time Chris felt like, or maybe he was trying to go into this direction, that he has to do damage control. So apparently in the beginning of the season, when they first met, he made a comment to the confessional to let us know that, Nicole is a little thicker than he would have liked, or no, a little, I wrote it down. Let me check my notes. He said Nicole was a little bit thicker than he normally goes for, but not in a bad way, and that is sexy. So he let her know verbatim, word for word, what he done said to us in the confessional earlier in the season, and it's not a bad thing, and it's sexy. Nicole said she considers herself to be a thicker woman, But girls can say whatever they want, and it's jarring that to hear him say that. So girls can say whatever. Okay, I understand she wants to stay with the girl power, and girls can say like I can say, but you can't, because that's what she said at the end, that she can say it, but basically he can't. That is incorrect. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to give my personal opinion on this situation. Okay, you consider yourself a more thicker woman. I'm a more thicker woman. So I completely understand that we consider ourselves more thicker women. But why can't homeboy say, you're a thicker woman? It's not like he's saying, he's dated more slender. I mean, I guess it's the same thing, but at the same time for me, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like not us having this type of conversation again, because I know for me physically, I'm a bigger person. So if I'm dating a guy, he knows what it is. And listen, you better shout out to the world. You with a thicker woman, since we're using the word thicker. Let them know, and let them know you love all of it. Okay. So for her, I understand she has body dysmorphia. I feel like a lot of people have body dysmorphia. So I get it, Nicole. I get where you're going with this, but at the same time, he was just letting it be known that you're thicker than the girls he usually date, but he doesn't think that in a bad way and thinks it's sexy. And then she goes into, what is she? She said something. She said she's going to be bigger when they have kids. When or if they have kids. So Chris said, your body type is your body type. I'm like, Chris, no, that was not the right thing to say. When he said that, I'm sorry. When he said that, Nicole was just looking at him like, excuse me? Nicole, listen, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But for me, I'm just like, let's not have this conversation again. Honestly, guys say the darnest things. The show kids say the darnest thing. Guys say the darnest things, okay? Guys sometimes don't know what they be talking about. They know what they be talking about, but at the same time, they just don't know how to be talking about it or how to say it. And for me, I'm like, it seems like he was just trying to be as nice as he possibly can. You sexy, Nicole, okay? You look great. Okay, forget what anybody says. You look great. Okay, so you have to be happy with yourself. So him saying that and you kind of feeling some type of way about it just shows that you're not content with where you are. And she says she knows she needs to work on herself. So you know what? Work on yourself, Nicole. But at the same time, I didn't take it jarring of what he said. I think he was just giving his first initial thoughts when he saw you, and it looks like he loves every moment of it, because at this point in time you guys are having sex, and I think he just said it just for damage control, to let you know, listen, this is what I said, so I just want to make you aware, because some guys wouldn't. Look at Chris from season 12. Okay. So, Nicole, I just think, hopefully you don't make this into a big thing. I can understand your feelings are hurt. I probably would feel some type of way, but at the same time, I know who I am. I know the size. I know the skin I'm in. So it's just all about the confidence. Because at the end of the day, guys love it. Okay? The ones who talk about it, okay, they're just not the ones for you. Moving on. We get to Gina and Clint. They go sailing. They talk. He was cute, whatnot. Moving on, then we get to Kristen. She meets four of Shaquille's mentees. And in my comment, I put, they're so cute because, you could tell they're young, obviously, probably just started college and stuff. I'm like, oh. And they sit down to eat, to talk and mingle. And Shaquille lets it be known he was offered a job out of state, and he said no out of respect for his wife because it was going to be far, whatnot. And literally, my notes, I put, he's so nice. Because first I would have been like, how much y'all offering? Out of state, I would assume you guys are offering more than I get paid now. And if it's more, how much more? Because if they offering a significant amount, we're going to have to talk. Listen, they offering, like, I'm getting paid, like, let's say I'm getting paid 20,000, you know what I'm saying, and they offer me like 40,000, you know what I'm saying, and also too, depending on where it was, what's the way of life over there, because Texas, that'd be cheaper than over here in Florida, so it depends. Depends. That should have been a conversation. So Kirsten appreciates that he said no out of respect for her, and they're still getting to know each other and whatnot. He doesn't want to up and move her out of state already within the first month or two, because we've seen what happened with season 11 with Amelia and Bennett. So she appreciates it, but also doesn't want to hold him back. Which in lies the, like, how much did they offer you that you declined? Or did you tell them low key, high key, that listen, can we put this offer on pause until after 2 months when I can make a final decision? Because if y'all don't work out, which I don't think you guys are, it's gonna just kind of suck that you kind of delayed your progression in your career for a girl who can't even tell you probably what her favorite color is. I'm just saying. So hopefully you just put it on pause, but you're very nice. That's very nice of you as a husband. That's a very husbandly thing to do. Just wouldn't be me if I was in your position. But okay, we're gonna move on to Aries and Jasmine. They go over the experts' questions, and Aries just looking out of it. I don't know if it's because he's still kind of low-key, high-key recovering from March 2020, or if he's just uninterested, but I feel like it's a little bit of both. So they play a game of Never Have I Ever. And, oh no, sorry, we'll go to the Never Have I Ever later. They go over the experts' questions about love and whatnot. He talks about he's afraid of falling in love, and because of that, his guard is always up. Jasmine says she's not in love yet, in regards to the relationship, but wants to be, and she just wants more of an emotional connection first. Okay, whatever. Okay, this is new episode, same conversation. We then move on to Shaquille and Jasmine. They go plant shopping because Shaquille loves plants, and he hopes that this quality time will be considered quality time on her end, because it doesn't seem like, his quality time is like her quality time. Like, what he considers quality time is not what she considers quality time. So they go look at plants. I guess his style of plants that he likes is not the style of plants that she likes. So they keep going back and forth, but then they pick plants that they do agree on and whatnot. Listen, this is not the first time I see people going plant shopping and Married at First Sight. Is this really y'all hobbies? Or is the producer just saying, hey, go plant shopping and pretend like you pretend that you like plants? I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they just choose a lot of people who like plant shopping. For me, do I like plants? Not really. Like, I may think of, oh, if me and my husband had a house, like, okay, let's choose this plant to go in the front, but it's not like to the point where, like, I want to be a whole gardener out in these streets. I'm gonna be in the backyard planting plants. So, okay, maybe these people just like plants, but for me, I'm just like, it's just very repetitive. Every season is just very repetitive. So that's why for me, I'm like, everything I'm questioning, like, is it authentic? Because at this point, I feel like nothing is. So anyways, they pick a plant, and anything else to take from that? Shaquille names the plants. I don't even remember. I don't even write down what they named the plants, because it was very irrelevant. Okay. We then move on to Aries and Jasmine. Now they play the Never Have I Ever. And we find out Aries has been in an orgy before, and it seems like multiple orgies from context clues. Well, I'm not surprised. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it, because that just... All I want to say is incest. That's what crossed my mind when I heard orgies and multiple orgies. Anywho, moving on from that, as he's asking questions of, never have I ever did this or that, Jasmine not putting no fingers down. I mean, she started at 5, and then all of a sudden, from the cameras, it shows her hands was at 4. And I'm just like, okay, what was the thing that she put her hand to 4 for? Because clearly the producers skipped that. You didn't think it was going to catch that? Producers, do better in editing. Please, do better. But anywho, most of the things he's saying, she ain't putting her fingers down for. So he's calling her boring. He's like, dang, you should have got this all out your system before you got married, all this stuff. But it seemed like you haven't gotten all out of your system yet, Aries. So what are you doing here? It seems like you don't need to be here. So clearly, she's boring. She's not wild like you want her to be. She's more classy and reserved. She's not giving you the whore that you need. All this stuff. So Aries, once again, you don't need to be here. You should be like Dominique. I said I wasn't going to say it again, but I'm going to say it again. You should be like Dominique and just be like, I ain't feeling this. I want a divorce. Because at this point, y'all not even trying no more. Y'all just riding the ride. Especially since you have March 2020. I feel like now you really over it more than you was before. And it seems like you're gonna tell her that next week, next episode. So Jasmine's just looking like kind of offended, and I'm just like, oh, he breaking her down. He breaking her down because next week it look like she gonna be cussing him out or something. Because you gonna be seeing some obscenities being said on her end that you be hearing a bleep. So I mean, now she gonna get to the point the cousin, the hating ass cousin, been wanting her to get to. And for me, I'm like, you shouldn't have even gotten to this point, Jasmine. You should just let him know off rip. Listen, like, what we not gonna do, you're not gonna be talking to me any type of way, talking to me crazy, and telling me in front of the cameras I need to give you more whore. Why don't you give me more gentlemen? That's what you should have said, Jasmine. But I'm not gonna do your battles for you. I'm not gonna get hype for you because I was about to get hype. But I'm not gonna do it for you, Jasmine. You're a grown ass woman, and you should let homeboy know. Listen, I be doing my best, but clearly you're not doing your best. So what we doing here? Anyway, anything else to take from that? No, not really. I just put SMH. We then get to Kirsten and Shaquille. They have a little pamper spa night, and they sit down to talk with blindfolds on. And Shaquille talks about his insecurities with his bald head, with his scar. Kirsten has the nerve to reassure him that it looks good on him. You sure, Kirsten? Because it didn't seem like it looked good on him when you first walked down the aisle and didn't want to give him a kiss and gave him your cheek. And you told your friends from the get-go that if you don't kiss him on the lips, that means you ain't feeling him. So you just saying that just to make him feel good. But he gonna see what happened in the beginning of the season. So, I mean, therein lies, this is all a facade, really. Then we talk about Shaquille. He wants to know something new about Kirsten. So first she's like, oh, there's a lot for me to say. I have a lot to say. So he's like, all right, then let me know something. But then she couldn't say nothing. She's like, oh, I don't know what to say. There's not much to say. He goes on a whole spiel to tell her, like, to be open, and her guard and the walls are so tall, and he wants to know how to break them down and all that stuff. She don't got nothing to say after that. Kirsten, why are you here? Why are you here? Like, you can't even, like, you could have said, my favorite color is this. You didn't know that about me? You could have said the most basic stuff, because I see people on Twitter saying, oh, maybe she don't want to stay in front of the cameras. BS. If there's so much to, about you that he doesn't know, you could say something that's PG, that's TV appropriate. I don't want to hear it. It's all excuses. All excuses. So anyway, there's nothing else to take from that. The last thing she tells him, she thanks him for being so patient with her. But it's gonna be for nothing, for no reward, because you still not gonna give nothing. We're gonna get to the 8 weeks, and we just gonna still know your name is pronounced as Kirsten, not Kristen. We get to day 27 of marriage. I told y'all this was quick, even though the time wasn't quick, but the time of days was quick, because we started off at 19, now we at 27, almost a whole 10 days later. We at day 27 of marriage. Clint and Gina, they go to a professional bull riding show. They seem like they have a good time. They talk about their bond and getting along. And Clint, so he's like, yeah, we're like contagious, like a rash. Okay, Clint. Okay, sure. Sure, I'm with Gina. Like, I mean, that's not how I want to describe our marriage, but okay, I mean, I guess. But they have a good time. Clint, I feel like he's a little bit drunk, when he said this. He's like, but I could bull ride. I could take on the bull. I'd probably not be here right now, physically on this earth, but I could take on the bull. Gina don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm pretty sure deep down inside, Clint don't believe it. It's just the alcohol talking. Producers don't believe it. America don't believe it. Okay. Thank you, Clint, but please stay on the bleachers. We do not need, no. I mean, no, we do not, no. Because if that happens, the whole show gonna be canceled, okay? Please, we don't, no. So, other than that, they had a good time. They high-fived, and they walk away arm in arm. And that was the end of the episode, guys. That's it. Same old. Nothing new. I mean, the rest of this season looks like it's going to be bland, like white rice with no salt or pepper. It is what it is. Am I going to watch it still? Yes, of course I am. But They ain't giving much. They really not. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like me, if you laughed at least once, please subscribe. Please let me know what you thought about this episode or this blend of a season. And then I'll see you guys next week. Other than that, be easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. Goodbye.